Hey guys, welcome to Dogforge. My name's Paul, and this is our series on Mordenkainen Presents Monsters of the Multiverse because we like alliteration beginning with M. This time we're going to be taking a look at the Cobalt Race, and as always we'll be referring back at times to how it existed originally in Volo's Guide to Monsters and comparing the changes and throwing in commentary on what we think now. So without further ado, let's get into the short and dragon of it, shall we? So, off the top of my head, to be honest, I want to say this is old art, but I cannot promise you for that fact. I feel like this is probably actually Kobold monster art, but could be new. Just don't think it is. Straight off the bat, we have our standard changes. Your ability scores have gone from a single +2 dex, which was originally errated to have a negative strength removed. It is now a +2 and +1 of your choice, or any +1 or 3 +1s of your choice. Language, 1 of your choice and common, well, as long as you and the DM agree. Previously this would have been common and draconic. Creature type, humanoid unless it says otherwise. Lifespan, everyone lives basically around a century. So basically as long as humans, unless it is going to tell you otherwise. This overall results in a lot of races being longer lived than previously, and some shorter lived. So into the actual stat block, you are of course a small humanoid. Your movement speed is 30 feet and you have 60 feet of dark vision. So far, same story. However, this is a new Draconic Cry, and this is a replacement for a combination of Cower, Grovel, and Beg, and Pack Tactics. They kind of overlap in their function. So, as a bonus action, you let out a cry at your enemies within 10 feet of you. Until the start of your next turn, you and your allies have advantage on attack rolls against any of those enemies who could hear you. You can use this trait a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. This is something that people are going to feel torn about. So this is replacing both Cower, Grovel, and Beg and Pack Tactics. Pack Tactics is fantastic for the player, but it is kind of for the party, and can actually cause issues sometimes with, depending on your build. If you're a, for example, sharpshooting archer taking advantage of pack tactics, then it can actually make people feel maybe a little bit overshadowed. This not only makes everybody shine, it turns the first round of combat into an alpha strike of horrendous accuracy. If you have a kobold in the party, then there's no reason that you can't justify multiple great weapon masters and sharpshooters. It does say within 10 feet of you, so this... The way this is written, I would personally say that you do not need to remain within 10 feet. You have to close within 10 feet to do it, and then those that could hear you are affected. So I would say that you can move away. 10 feet gives you some leeway that as long as they don't have a longer than standard reach, you could still pull back without attacks of opportunity. And this is far better than Grovel, Cower, and Beg, which would have been an action and is really just for your allies, and that was once per short rest. The movement to proficiency bonus is a change that we saw primarily in Tasha's, which came out towards the end of 2020, and is it's straight up creep, to be honest. Even if you weren't getting as many short rests as intended, as soon as you hit a proficiency bonus of 4, you're getting more than you would have had anyway. This is a very powerful feature, and I think that depending on how your party is built, this could be very powerful. Say if you had a new bugbear that could be dropping 2d6s in all their attacks and you up their accuracy, that would be devastating. So this can be very useful, but if you have a party that has a lot of spellcasters using saving throws instead, it won't be as impressive. And then next up is Cobalt Legacy, and this isn't actually directly replacing anything, as Draconic Cry really covered pack tactics, which, just to refresh your memory, is advantage on attack rolls against a creature if at least one of your allies is within 5 feet of them. Draconic Cry is really covering 2 features, so this is just making up design space. And it's nice because it's a choose your own feature kind of thing. So you can either choose craftiness and gain a skill of your choice from the list of Arcana, Investigation, Medicine, Sleight of Hand, or Survival. Or you can choose Defiance to get advantage on saving throws to avoid or enter the Frightened condition. Basically the Brave trait from Halflings. Or Draconic Sorcery. You know one cantrip of your choice from the Sorcerer spell list, and the casting modifier for it is Intelligence, Wisdom, or Charisma, your choice when you select the race. This is very nice. No matter what Kobold character you have in mind, there's a way to customize it here that should be suitable to you in some way, shape, or form. Even if you're playing multiple Kobolds in a party, the customizability of this feature means that you won't all be the same, which is nice. Cobalt Legacy gets a big thumbs up from me. Draconic Cry is... I think it's going to be good overall, but I think in the wider scope of things, it can be absolutely devastating for encounters. And that's it. One thing that you are not going to see here that needs to be mentioned is that they no longer have sunlight sensitivity. That is not something you will find on any of the races going forwards, certainly not in the Multiverse book. The general tempo is remove any hindrances, put everyone on a level playing field, which is incredibly subjective, and they did not succeed doing that in my subjective opinion. So the Kobolds got a massive increase from Volos. You're getting the full +2/+1 or 3+1s instead of just a +2 dex. You've lost sunlight sensitivity, and you've gained Cobalt Legacy and a amalgamation of Grovel, Cower, and Beg and pack tactics. This is most definitely an improvement overall. I think this does lose some of the inherent flavor of being a Kobold, how you might think of them from monsters. Always being in, packs together, and that kind of squirmy, pathetic in some portrayals kind of thing, and that can be good. Some players might find the flavor of Grovel, Cower, and Beg very problematic for their character idea. So some people are really going to like this, some people not going to like it. In general, just from an optimization standpoint, this is a big thumbs up and a huge improvement. But that's just what I think. What do you think about the new Kobold? Do you like it? Are you going to be sticking with the old version? Tell us in the comments down below what you think, why, and have you already tried it out? Or when can we expect you to try it out and report back to us? Meanwhile, subscribe if you haven't already, like this video if you liked it, and until next time, I'll be Paul and I'll see you at the Forge.